I had made a lot of poor financial decisions. Rosa was one of them. She was $6,000.
I just want to get viral doing something.
That's not how life works. You borrowed 900 at 159.57%.
All right, it's that time again. We're going to be checking out some of Caleb's clips and watching people get into insane financial situations. Some of the ones that we have today are just unbelievable, honestly. So I do have some comments from the previous video as well. We'll go over from you guys. So if you want to be featured in a future video, leave it in the comments down below, but we're just going to get right into it.
You're basing your entire life off of Hawk 2?
Not exactly. I just want to get viral doing something.
That's not how life works. For some, yeah, there might be some lucky things. Maybe you'll get lucky and say Hawk 2.
No, that's what I was hoping. There's been so many instances where like I'm on 6th Street and I'm hoping to get in one of those like street interviews so I can.
There's like 50,000 street interviewers on any given night. She just got lucky.
I can start selling merch and start making it into my brand and actually use it to funnel into my other
merch. What would your merch be based on?
I don't know.
Unemployed bitch who mooches off of parents. Buy my shirt. Ah, it's more catchy than Hawk 2.
Yeah, no, my poor parents though. Like
poor out of all the mooching you're doing, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this clip actually has a lot more relevance to what we're going to be seeing in the future, especially with the Gen Alpha, I believe, is the one below Gen Z. But I guess I'm in the realm of Gen Z, like the older, but anybody basically younger than me is what I'm trying to say. We've gone from little kids wanting to be like a NFL star, they want to be a professional athlete or an astronaut, to they want to be Twitch streamers, they want to be YouTubers, they want to be content creators. Even though this woman's a bit older, I bet that there's a lot of people that this is exactly what their goal in life actually is. They want to just go viral with some clip that it's not really like you could plan it. Most of the time it's just complete luck, but especially during the days of peak Fortnite, everybody wanted to be a streamer and be like Ninja and Tfue, and now you're seeing random people go viral on TikTok, which I think that girl is widely hated on the internet right now. I've never seen anybody come to the defense of her, so it's probably not the greatest example, but especially with the quick social media and TikTok and YouTube and how much it's exploded, I bet a lot of kids' entire financial future is based off of just getting lucky and becoming a content creator through a viral clip.
How much do you owe on this Cash App borrow? Do you know what you're spending it on? I'll tell you, yes. VR. Tatas in the virtual space. Some meta Zuck.
It's his VR.
Interesting. It's different. It's like POV. Extreme.
Why virtual reality when reality is right next to you?
It's a good question. I ask him the same thing.
Okay, so there's a lot of things that I could probably say about this clip and come off really mean, but we're just gonna let a lot of that go. A complete mess though. Imagine being in a financial hole and paying for that. I mean, what am I supposed to say? This is an absolute mess, and apparently it's just funny to both of them as a couple. That is insane to me. I don't even know how it's okay in the first place. Both of them don't look like they make good decisions in general, let alone financial. And I don't know, man, it does make you feel better about your own situation in life when you start seeing some of these people. It's nuts. We have a comment from one of you guys. This channel and Caleb's made me realize how I'm not prepared. I've gotten my first $2,000 saved and a good portion of my credit card paid down. My car paid off, and the next is retirement and savings. And I think that overall seeing this kind of content online is a positive to a lot of people, especially if they didn't really consider finances, especially if they're younger, you know. In their college years around that, a lot of people, including myself when I was in high school, just thought if I went to college and got a degree that I would magically just end up getting a job that would make a decent amount of money and I would never really have to worry about finances. And that was clearly not the case, even with people today who have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees in subjects that are actually worth something, not any of the meme degrees. But having basically no financial knowledge when you get out of college at 21, 22, even if you do get a job, if you're not on top of it, you could be spending way more than you should just because you have almost unlimited credit on these cards that you have. You could just max them out nonstop, pay the minimum balance, and if you're not really paying attention, the compounding effect will go through the roof. So seeing some of these insane stories from people definitely make people realize how bad this could really get.
How many miles are on your car?
Which one?
The car you drive.
I drive one, but I don't drive the other one. The Chrysler, probably around 95,000 miles now.
Which car do you not drive?
The Chrysler.
Fair enough. If I had one, I wouldn't want to be seen around town in it either. So, what's your driving car?
I feel like you're gonna make fun of me, Caleb.
Oh, maybe if it's another Chrysler 200.
It's not.
What is it?
A Mercedes-Benz. CLA.
Oh my gosh, you are a car salesman. You owe on this Benz.
Yes, it's financed through my bank.
So why not get rid of the Chrysler?
That's what I'm in the process of doing. I need to find somebody who will take over the payments on it.
Who would take over a 24%?
Somebody who needs a car and they can't get one.
So you're gonna prey on people. I told you did.
I'm not gonna prey on people.
Someone who can't find a car but needs one.
Yeah.
If they're gonna take this, they're gonna be preyed on.
No, I'm just helping them out.
Buddy, the value of your car is about $8,000. You owe $14,000 on it.
So that's not super terrible.
Are you? What are you?
Real quick before I get into it, we'll just look at the comments. Taking over payments is not a thing, especially if you think somebody's going to take over a 24% interest rate on a Chrysler 200. They don't even make them anymore. They don't even make the 300. All they do is make the minivan now, which should just turn into the Dodge Caravan. Chrysler as a whole should just disappear. Who buys a Chrysler 200, let alone any Chrysler product? The CLA is the Chrysler 200 of Mercedes. If you've watched any of my car videos, I'm a pretty big hater of the CLA Mercedes because it ropes a lot of people into $700-800 car payments for one of the smallest and lowest quality products that Mercedes sells to people. They just want the badge. It's not nearly as nice as any of the C, E, S classes, but people will pay a ton of money just for that little logo right in front and back of their car. And there's another comment that just adds on to buying a Mercedes. Obsessed with looking like they have lots of money, but in reality, they're like this. They have two cars, a 24% interest rate on a Chrysler 200, and a CLA, which is basically just paying for the badge. On top of it, he's a car salesman, apparently, which is another big thing. When you see all the videos of the high payments that these salesmen are paying for their Jeep Wranglers or their Grand Cherokee or their Gladiator, any of those clips that we've seen, apparently it's very easy to sell to a salesman, even though you know all the tactics that people are going to use, but I guess they still fall for them.
How much do you owe on the house?
I would say we're about 30 to 40.
$1,000
Yes.
on the house. You owe $213,000 on the house. You think you pay $30,000 a month towards the house? Wait.
Like, how much do we pay monthly for the house?
Hold on. I need to be very clear. You don't think you pay $30,000 a month to this house?
It's like 5, I think.
We only almost bring in like 4 to 5. Oh my.
We've been together for like 10 years already. So we came from like high school to adulthood together.
Sure.
He's never been good with numbers. So I've just never like, okay, you get paid. All right, we did this. All right, we'll do this. Like during school, we were getting paid. We did work study. Like we were kind of just like going with the flow, bringing in money, paying things. And then the debt just started getting really bad.
I'm so tired of the like, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at numbers, especially when you're an adult. Now this couple is going to be in a video coming out pretty soon because there's even more context, but they have a child. They are 100% adults. It's not like they just got out of high school. They're 18 years old and they're making dumb decisions. They have to take care of another human life. Like her excuse is, oh, he's just not good with numbers. So how is that okay to just not know anything about your financial situation? So I guess every month is just a guess that, you know, maybe they paid off all their bills and they have extra money left over and they're not even looking at any of the bank accounts or any of the credit card balances. It just doesn't even make sense to me. You could see it on your phone in all of the apps for your credit cards. You'll get stuff in the mail showing your balances every single month. There's just no excuse for it. And this specific situation gets even worse, which we'll talk about in a future video, but we're just going to move on.
I'm going to pet your dog to calm myself down, but I would like you to leave this studio.
Huh?
I'm done. Let's save it for the post show. Let's say hi. Oh,
I had made a lot of poor financial decisions. Rosa was one of them. She was $6,000.
really? Well, I love her. She's awesome. You have pup insurance?
No.
I'd get dog insurance because something happens to Rosa, it's going to cost thousands of dollars.
She bit my inhaler and then she got albuterol poisoning and that cost me $2,000.
Yeah, get dog insurance, it would cost you $200.
I love her.
I put this clip in because of how much that was. Now there's a couple arguments. There's a whole bunch of people who would rather adopt, of course. I mean, my past dog was exactly that. It was only a few $100s in total, but I have seen dogs from breeders and yeah, purebreds. They could be beautiful animals, but I've only ever seen $4,000, $4,500 for a dog, $6,000 for that dog. I mean, probably great dog, looks super friendly. That dog does not look like it's $6,000. So yeah, her saying she makes poor financial decisions is a understatement with that one. On top of the extra $2,000 that she paid for that dog, you're getting pretty close to a car price there. We have a comment from one of the clips from the previous video. That chick who's refusing to pay $1,000 a month on a mortgage is going to feel like a complete dumbass when she loses that house. So a little bit more context. There was a clip from Caleb's videos that this woman inherited a house in Austin, Texas, where her mother bought it a long time ago. So $1,000 a month, especially if you start looking in Austin, it's one of the biggest cities to explode, especially during COVID. So the prices have gone through the roof. You are not going to find a mortgage for $1,000 a month. And this woman didn't even want to get a part-time job to be able to pay the $1,000 a month and live in a better situation than virtually anybody else around her would be. She was just going to let the house go into foreclosure. And then I don't even know what the situation would be after that, because even a studio apartment, I would say, is maybe around that $1,000 a month in Austin, Texas. But getting an entire house, that's just out of the question now. So they basically got a golden ticket and she's still squandering. There's some people you just really can't help. The only benefit is maybe showing it to other people and realizing how crazy the situation is. So if anybody watching ever got into something similar, they could realize how much of a benefit it could really be, and they don't mess it up like that woman did. Now this next one, man, is just a rough situation. It's pretty upsetting.
Have you found a new girlfriend yet to live together in that area?
Yeah, so I actually did meet somebody else.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. Within the last year, she was a foreign aid teacher that they gave a visa to basically support teaching in the area for a year. So she's not a U.S. citizen is kind of what I'm getting at.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
But we're already engaged, and
Cool.
So I got
she's on you're engaged?
Yeah, she had to go. So she still has to go.
Wait, what visa was she here on?
A J1.
A J1. Okay.
Yeah, and China.
She's here.
No, she's already gone back in July 10th.
Back to where?
Back to China to finish her master's, because she still has another year of master's.
You met her in person though.
I met her in person. Yeah.
Oh,
When she was teaching here in America.
How long did you guys know each other before getting engaged?
6 months.
Okay. I just want to, just out of safety for yourself, are you sure, 100% positive that this is, for good intentions? I just want to be protective.
Yeah, that's always the first question everyone asks.
I know, and I feel rude for asking. I really do.
I know, and I understand where it's coming from. Yes, I am sure, because the original discussion was like, I have to go to China.
Okay.
But the problem is that their restrictions on being able to immigrate to China is a lot.
Yeah, that's why their
really
population pyramid
stringent.
is collapsing. Yes,
it's really stringent. Like, you have to have, a bachelor's, you have to have 4 scientific papers written, you have to be 15 plus work experience, right?
Yeah, that country is destroying themselves.
Yeah. So the only other conversation we were able to have was, well, maybe you have to come to America, right? But then that also comes with a lot of complications too, because now I have to spend $5,000 at least on immigration papers, not including potential lawyer fees.
When she's here, you guys gonna live together? Is that gonna solve the living problem? She's gonna bring in income.
That's the hope.
When is she coming?
So that depends on the lawyer situation.
Oh,
because her J1 visa requires a 2-year.
All right, 2-year, and then she can come.
And then she can come, but
Me. So we got to figure out your situation now. I don't give a shit about that then. No offense, that's too far away. I need to figure out you now. We got to jump into these finances. Self-assessment before we jump into this first debt. Where do you think you are on a financial scale? 0 being the worst, 10 being the best.
I would say 2.
All right, so before I get into it, we're just going to go to the comments real quick. I think he may be showing up on a future season of 90 Day Fiancé. This poor guy, 6 months. How is it $5,000 in immigration fees? A regular K1 is $500 max outside of paying for paperwork inside the fiance's home country. Now, honestly, it just seems like this guy is getting played, because even with the possibility of that guy moving over to China, I'm pretty sure that woman knows how strict it actually is to legitimately immigrate and how much easier it is to go to the US. So she could probably say, oh, come to China, even though there was no hope for him ever actually legitimately being able to move over there. It's much easier for her to come over here after just 6 months and then getting engaged, eventually getting a green card and being able to be a US citizen. On top of the $5,000 in fees that he's going to have to pay to bring her over here, which already seems apparently overpriced. That's just a really, really bad situation overall, on top of his whole financial situation, because this is a show talking about a lot of people's debts, not their decisions in life other than that, like their relationships. So overall, this is just looking really bad for this guy. It's pretty sad, and hopefully he can figure out his way out of this hole.
Oh, me. Are you drop shipping guy?
I would assume.
Okay. So you tried solar sales, which everyone and their mom does. So you're trying the other thing that everyone and their mom does.
Yeah.
And of course, there are people that make it, just like there are people that make it in anything. The majority?
Yeah, seeing somebody show the proof that they made 60,000, I thought, if I made a tenth of that, I'd be fine.
10,000?
No, they made 60,000 in just March.
Oh, in a month.
1 month, 60,000. And they showed me the proof. I figured I could do it. It was not as easy as I expected.
Shocker, who would have thought? Real quick, we'll look at the comments. This guy bought a course, 100% he did. Do you need help in getting started with your dropshipping business? Let's chat privately. That's like all the bots that you'll see all over TikTok and YouTube, especially in that area. So this is exactly the guy who would fall for the $500 or $1,000 course, because some guy showed you that he was making $10 million a year dropshipping items from Alibaba or AliExpress. And then they do get more elaborate, because this really did explode, especially during COVID, when the online e-commerce really just started ramping up because people didn't really go to stores. All of the online sites really started to explode. So you would have these gurus making courses where they would Photoshop sales, and they would completely fake the amount of items that they were selling, how much money they were making. I've even seen people getting paid to sign into actual successful like drop shippers or just sellers in general, their accounts, to make a fake video showing their analytics for how much that they were selling every day or every month or every year. And these gurus would make those videos saying that it was their account, and they'll teach you, all you got to do is pay $1,000 for a course. And then again, it's always the bare bones, very basic knowledge, where if you just wanted to look it up on Google or YouTube, you could probably find the same information. And then you realize, for the people who are legitimately successful, making a ton of money doing it, they're not going to teach you or tell you what they're doing, because you'll just increase the competition when the same competition is already sky high. So just you walking in after you spent $1,000 in a course, you're not going to be able to compete with the people who have been doing it for years and years already. They know all the tricks, they know all the marketing, everything that you have to do to get around drop shipping too, because a lot of sites don't even allow drop shipping. So it's an entire beast that is way more complicated than you actually think. But by the time you really do figure that out, it's not like you get refunded for that $100 or $500 or $1,000 course, and that guy has gone on to another grift. And a lot of people end up getting scammed, and this is one of the faces of that scam.
Buddy, you're taking equity out of your home to do Twitch donations. You know how absolutely borderline aggressively stupid that is? Aggressively stupid.
What can I say? You gotta YOLO.
Shut the f up. You're being a little... Are you taking this seriously? What are we doing here? You gotta be a little YOLO. What the f? Are we doing this thing or not?
Yes.
Okay, why are you being a cheeky little
I don't know.
So you do this for some interesting version of entertainment. I'm not going to judge the entertainment aspect of it, because we all have our own things to judge that. But this is expensive, man. It's just going to debt. It's like someone going into $500 to debt for like movie theaters and just getting closer and closer to maxing out the card and then having to take out home equity.
Wait, is that on? That's the credit card with that?
Yes, the one document we've talked about 24 minutes in.
So that was a mistake. I don't know what happened. I meant to do it out of my checking for whatever
that
reason.
checking account's by the way.
So as we talked about in the first clip with the explosion of like streaming and Twitch, all of that, that also comes with a lot of people getting into a parasocial relationship with the people that they watch. Now it does happen with any large streamer, but it especially happens with, let's just say, guys who spend a lot of time on the internet, and with Twitch streamers who are women, and they believe that just throwing money at them and being able to talk to them through the donations is almost like they're in a real relationship. And this is exactly what it seems like with this guy, and it's so bad that he took out home equity just to be able to have that imaginary relationship keep going from a streamer playing video games or doing whatever they do online. And it is just sad. I mean, at the same time, there are a lot of streamers who take advantage of that and make all of their money, and they really press into that almost fake boyfriend, girlfriend look. It's just a complete mess. I'm very glad that I stopped watching Twitch a while ago. And most of the time I had it on the background anyway, but I just completely let that one go. It ends up being a much weirder place in my mind compared to at least a lot of the YouTube content that I watch.
You blew tens of thousands at a casino, right?
I definitely will say I slowed down, and the only money I spend on scratch offs, if I ever do go get scratch offs, is cash tip money that we get. But kind of like tip money at the hotel when we get cash tips.
What percentage of your income from the hotel is tips?
Cash tips, I would say like less than 1%. Like for overall pay, like what hits my account, I would say maybe like 5.
That's not mathing. Okay.
I don't know. It's not a lot.
Well, how much are you spending on scratch offs on a month, let's say?
I haven't bought scratch offs in like 3 or 4 months now.
Okay, gambling at all? Anything in the last 3 or 4 months?
No, I'm just working, to be honest.
Good, dude. You were blowing so much money, and you had bad history at just destroying your wallet at the casinos outside of Chicago, right?
Chicago, it's St. Louis.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're done with that.
Now, I wanted to put this in because, yeah, it was a bad situation, of course, blowing a whole bunch of your money on gambling, but this is probably one of the few that you'll see that would actually give up the gambling addiction that they had. That's very, very difficult for a lot of people. I've made dedicated videos. There's been several clips throughout other videos talking about people with heavy gambling addictions. You have the people that go to the casino like he did. We have the scratch-offs. We have any of the online games now where it's just slots on your phone. We have any of the loot crates from the video games where you could get this really cool skin or cool gun or cool player for Madden or FIFA, any of that. It's all a level of gambling. At least we have one clip where this guy actually did finally give up gambling. Probably saved him a ton of money overall.
I just want to be like a stay-at-home Pilates wife. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this jobs and me, like, do not get along.
Would you be able to would you be so bored being at home all day? Wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I would run. I would go to Pilates class. I would hang out with my kids if I had any.
Okay.
No, this is what I would do. I would get up every morning. I would go for a run. Then I would get Juiceland or Sun Life Organics. And then I would go take my kids to school. And then
you sound like a wife I'd divorce after 5 minutes.
And then after that, I'd pick them up from school, and then I'd make some delicious dinner for my
What can you make?
So this is the same woman from the beginning who just wanted to randomly get famous off of some viral clip. And on top of it, it seems like she doesn't actually want to do anything. She legitimately just wants to be a housewife and somehow maybe make some income from being a content creator, even though she hasn't even tried to at all. It just seems like she just wants a husband to pay for all of her stuff, especially when we saw in the first clip that she's just constantly mooching off of her parents right now. And she wants to just hang out with her kids and be like a TikTok mom and all of that, even though she hasn't even taken any of the steps to do that. There's just no thought process in that. She's just racking up a whole bunch of debt because she hopes that one day it'll just be magically fixed by somebody, or money will just start pouring in after some clip goes viral. It's clearly not how it works online really at all, but it just seems that simple because you just scroll nonstop and see clip after clip on TikTok of these people just blowing up, or Instagram, YouTube, and then everybody just expects that they could also do that, and it'll just take no time. You know, within a couple days they'll just randomly become the next Kim Kardashian, and then all of the debt and money troubles that they racked up for years and years will just magically disappear. Again, it doesn't really seem like there's too much hope for that one. Now, I thought this comment from you guys also did relate, because I could definitely see the last woman doing exactly this. Wait until cherry loans start popping up. My wife does permanent eyebrows and makes $350,000 a year. She has clients that are getting cherry loans, which is literally just a credit group that gives fast loans for people looking to get cosmetic work done. It's like 20% interest rate. So along with the makeup industry, of course, blowing up, we talked about that with the overconsumption, people getting cosmetic surgeries to look like all the celebrities and now Instagram models that they'll see, getting Botox, their lips done, I mean, any of the liposuction, you name it, people are doing it now, and she seems to be the exact type who will see somebody online want to look like them. They want to get a whole bunch of followers, even though she doesn't have any money and she's mooching off of people. She'll get basically a payday loan to be able to get cosmetic work done, to look more attractive. When I mean in the long run, when you see people with Botox who are like 50 and 60, they look like freaks. They don't even look human. They're gross looking. I don't know why anybody would ever do that.
567 credit score.
So that's not super terrible.
The f are you talking about?
Hey, it was a lot worse than that, man, but I've been putting in the work to get it back.
What work have you put in?
Well, look, I got some credit cards.
What work have you put in? Then you've maxed them out. They're all maxed or over maxed. Yeah, there's $5 in your checking account. Good job. Vending machine, taquitos. Vending machine, Roku, Showtime for Peacock. There's nothing on there anyway. Netflix, it's all these days. Disney, same thing there. Stars, you have every subscription. You have everything. You are the content consumption king. Subscriptions, is that something you're willing to sacrifice? YouTube's free. This is the best platform, best content.
Can I keep one thing?
What?
Showtime. Can I keep Showtime?
What is on Showtime? Okay.
This is the same dude that's a car salesman, by the way, trying to play down a $500 credit score as in, it's better. I've been working on it. Dude, you're going to get virtually that's why he has 24% interest rate on a Chrysler. 500 credit score is virtually non-existent. And then, of course, he's out there, please, can I keep one? I got to keep Showtime, I think is what he wanted to keep. And I do like that within a few years, all of the people around my age were like, TV's dead. Nobody watches TV anymore. I don't have TV, but then all of these specific channels were able to get into people's minds and start racking up all these subscriptions, which make it probably even more expensive than actually getting normal cable TV now. And this guy's in tons and tons of debt, maxing out all the credit cards, but he's still like, please, could I keep one? And it is really unbelievable because even with one of the comments that I had in a previous video, I didn't want to advocate it, all right? I'm just saying if you really want to watch a show or you really want to watch a movie, it's surprising how easy you could find it online without paying for it. All right, not saying that you should do it. If you just want to Google search something, maybe you don't have to pay that $10, $15, $20 a month. That's all I'm saying.
You borrowed $900 at 159.57%.
I saw the APR afterwards and I was like, holy crap.
I want to know what was happening in your life that you went to meandruinmylife.com and applied to everything possible.
I was in that me ruin my life kind of mindset. It makes me feel good to spend money. It makes me feel like I'm a provider. Honestly, I just needed new things for my house. My kids were constantly asking me for things.
Well, I don't give a
I felt like I was obligated to just provide it. I feel like I overdo it sometimes. I overgive, and I need to put a boundary and say no because...
The boundary is probably when you don't have money and you don't have money, so...
Yeah.
What were you giving them?
Roblox.
Okay. All right, there it is.
Toys.
That's... Yeah. What are the ages of the kids?
My daughter is 1.5. My son is 3. And then I have 3 other daughters. They're 8, 12, and 14.
This is a estrogen-filled household, isn't it?
Yes. 4 girls, 1 boy.
It's crazy how many people take out payday loans and believe that it's just okay and they'll be able to pay it back. Over 100% interest rates. People are losing their minds now when you see cars at like 10% interest rate. Imagine literally over 10 times that. And stuff for little kids that are just overstimulated. If you go to like Target or Walmart and they're running down the aisles with all the toys, of course they're going to want this one and this one and this one. And that's when you have to be a parent and say no. But she was okay with taking out loans just to be able to buy the toys that a couple of weeks or months they just won't care about at all. So it's just a complete waste of money.
Nissan Murano. I don't even know that car. You owe $26,789. It's worth $18,300. The 14.1% interest rate of insanity is though.
I'm pissed off at myself about buying this car.
Why?
I wasn't supposed to buy a car. I was supposed to pay off my old car. I only had $3,000 left because I received $10,000 to $11,000 from my job.
Okay.
I got my bonus and I was going to pay off my car, but I ended up trading it in and buying this new car.
Why'd you go against your plan? Why'd you go against your plan though?
Impulse.
Yeah, that's the definition of your life, isn't it?
I'm thinking about getting a refinance right now.
What's your score?
What score?
Credit?
Like 670.
When did you apply?
This morning.
Oh.
But then people will just blame impulse but at the same time, you have to go to a dealership to get a car. It's not like you just wake up and you open your front door and right outside is just a car and the guy going, hey, you just got to sign this, and then you instantly have a car. Like, you have to make the steps of going to the dealership, talking to all the people, all the trade-in value for the old car, realizing how much more it is for this brand new SUV compared to the old car that only had $3,000 left, and then go through all of those hoops and finally sign on the dotted line, and then boom, there goes the extra $10,000 bonus he got from his job. Huge amount of money, and just wasted for no reason.
Why the f are you paying for your girlfriend's car with money you don't have that puts you above a credit limit while interest is accruing?
Between the two of us, it was the best option we had.
And a couple million people. But even still, why are you paying for hers? That's what the question was, not what debt offerings were you given.
Because I knew her options were worse. Just kind of...
How much are you taking care of her?
I mean, she pays it over time.
Huh? So she's in debt to you?
Technically, yeah.
Do you help her in other ways?
I mean, we live together.
Does she pay towards rent?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how is this debt payback going? What does it look like?
She just tacks it on to what she gives me for rent.
How much?
Usually about 100.
Usually about 100. So it's not a specific amount to be paid off by a specific amount of time?
So working in a restaurant, the money varies quite a bit. So it just depends. I don't ask for it.
Because you guys don't budget. Okay.
So this guy put himself in a hole because his girlfriend, I guess, has even worse credit and worse debt than he does. But then the payback, like, no car payment is $100 a month now. So the 100 that he's getting because restaurant business is variable isn't helping whatsoever. If anything, it's probably getting eaten up mostly by just interest because they're not making the minimum car payments for whatever vehicle it was. So to save his girlfriend from getting into even worse debt because she's in a worse situation, he's getting brought down to that same situation because they bought a car that they can't afford in general. The choices that people make are just astounding. I really hope a lot of people look at this and see how insane some of these people's lives are, because some of them are just lost hopes, especially with the way that they think or they don't think about finances and they're just completely okay with that. They're going to be in the hole for the rest of their lives. They're never going to be able to get out of this. So that's all I got for you guys today. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and I'll talk to you guys later.